Black people, the white liberals are not your friends. This is Saeed in Nigeria, and here's my perspective.
Black people kill black people. They don't come out and do this crap. The only time they do this crap is when a white person touches them. They're the racists. It's wrong for a white cop to kill a black person, that's for sure. But if it matters, it should matter at all times.
So what are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? You're not here to fight injustice. You're here to cause drama.
It's not about blacks. I am black. I'm not oppressed. I am free.
That's good for you. That's an individual person. What about a systemic issue?
I do what I want. You have the skills. This is a country where you have the skills. You want to do what you want. You do it. Stop forcing on people to accept that they're oppressed. They are not. I am not oppressed. I am black. Violence is wrong. Period. It's not about blacks. The blacks kill blacks in black neighborhoods every single day. I've never seen a Black Lives Matter in those neighborhoods. But if a white person kill a black person, Black Lives Matter. Stop the hypocrisy.
Why don't you start?
I'm not saying anything saying Black Lives Matter. I know I matter.
Please like and subscribe and press the notification button. You'll be glad you did. And why did I say black people, that the white liberals are not your friends? It is clear as day when you see it in an example of a video that I shared earlier, whereby you see a black lady talking about the Black Lives Matter thing, and how the hypocrisy of it all, and how you will hear noises about Black Lives Matter being shouted only when something happened between a white probably cop or a white policeman and probably somebody from the black race, so to speak. Whenever you see that hypocrisy. Now you see a lot of white liberals coming out and saying things like, they are oppressing the black people and all that. And you see, when you see that engagement between that lady is she's an African. She came from Africa actually, and I believe she migrated to the United States. It is obvious. I think she's either from Liberia or from Sierra Leone. Her accent, that's how her accent sounds. She's either from Liberia or Sierra Leone. I think I'll have a look at that later, probably, and I'll put that in the description. So, but anyway, the way she engaged that white woman, that white liberal, shows you clearly how condescending the white liberals are usually of black people. They sometimes think black people don't have a mind of their own, or that they will be able to express themselves, or that they will be able to speak up for themselves, or walk some things out as well. So there's this condescending way of looking at them. If you look at there's something that Malcolm X said back in the 60s. Yeah, I think it was back in the 60s. If you listen to that, you'll be shocked at how he spoke about white liberals back then and the attitude of the white liberals back then. So in this day and age, from somebody like me who is also watching from outside, obviously you already know I'm a Nigerian, watching from outside, who pays a very good attention to either American politics or geopolitics or what have you. I see that a lot of times these white liberals act like, they are the ones who have the best idea and the best agenda in mind to help the black people. And not just the black people, to also help Asians, to also help whoever, any other race that comes, even the Latinos. They condescend to these people. They condescend to supposed minorities in a place like the US. If you see the white liberals speaking in a place like the United Kingdom as well, they condescend to black people. If you see them speaking in a place like Australia, they condescend to the Aborigines. There's this condescending nature, how they will speak. oh, these people cannot do these things themselves. Oh, if you talk about voter IDs, they will say they cannot get voter IDs themselves. It is the poor, they are poor. The poor people cannot get voter ID. And this thing has gone through, you will discover that when you go through in the academia as well, maybe in colleges and what have you, or universities and what have you, you have people who supposedly will tell you they are supporting white people. I mean, they are supporting black people, or they are supporting the people of minorities. These are the people who came up with the ideas of a DEI and what have you. They will tell you they are supporting the black community, and so that, and they will speak in a way that, oh, even if this black community, even if these blacks get involved in violence that they are not supposed to get involved in, or they get involved in something that are like vices, destructive vices that can destroy even communities after, they will still say, they will still find an excuse. They will make an excuse for such vices. They will say, oh no, a bunch of guys got involved in in drug related issues. They got involved in robbing a convenience store or whatever. When they got involved in that, you have a white liberal, for example, coming up and saying, oh, it is because they are poor. So they make excuses for these vices. And I'll get to a point now, but let me continue on this line. They make excuses for it. They make excuses when black people, when you make certain take certain destructive steps that could destroy your own self and even your own posterity. The white liberal will tell you it's okay if you do it that way, because one thing the white liberal is looking for is control. And you obviously will see it in the way that in that video that we saw earlier, the one we saw before the Malcolm X video. You will see how she said, "Oh, well, then why are you here? You're supposed to support the same thing that we are talking about." It's as if you're saying, "We are fighting for you." But that lady came out and that lady said, "I'm free. I'm not oppressed. And I don't feel oppressed. I'm not acting oppressed." And where I come from, that I believe that is the way, I've been raised as well. I was born in Lagos, Nigeria. I came and I lived in my community. I lived in that particular state. I live and I work in different places across the nation, across Nigeria. I've never felt, racially discriminated against, if I can put it that way. Now, and whenever I deal with white people, this is my personal way that I operate with them, I usually don't fancy white liberals. And the reason why I don't fancy white liberals is white liberals will always act towards you like, I'm trying to help you. And whatever they will seem that you are trying to help you with, they will just give you room to make certain mistakes, not even mistakes. They will give you room to get involved in things that you're not supposed to get involved in vices that you're not supposed to put your hands in. And they will make excuses for you concerning that. They will say, "Oh, it's okay. It is because you are poor. It is because you came from where you don't have much knowledge and what have you." And I'll be like, you don't have to be condescending to make me feel I'm accepted. There's a Hemi Horowitz video. I think we did about 6 or 7 years ago, whereby they are talking about voters' ID laws. I think he went to a particular university to interview some people, or it was a university community, a college community, and he went outside the city as well to interview some white liberals and some black people. You will discover the difference in opinion. The condescending nature of how the white people, not all white people, the white liberals look down on the blacks like they couldn't help themselves. That thing rubs off on me as somebody like, why the hell will you think I can help myself? check. Let's check out the video. Very, very, very hot. You even see the link in the description as well. It's a very interesting video. So it's a very interesting video.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and I'm here in Berkeley, California to find out if voter ID laws suppress the black vote. Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far to say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us how.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed.
I also think there's a repression of black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the African Americans.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. That's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy camera?
I know, right?
That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Would you have a problem getting there if you had to get there?
No.
I know these sound like silly questions. You know how to get to the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use the internet.
That's just stupidity, honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid can figure out how to work the internet.
I had access to the internet for years.
You know how to use it properly, right?
Exactly. I do it at work. So, of course, I know how to use it. My kids know how to use it. They all have iPads, iPods, whatever.
Your phone has data?
Mm-hmm.
You can actually
unlimited.
Unlimited data.
Mm-hmm. I use my phone as a hotspot.
What does that say to you for the people who have this perception of black people?
They're pretty much ignorant. That's why my thought process on it.
I just think that's ignorant. Ignorant.
Ignorant. That's the word I'm hearing a lot. Ignorant.
It's very, very ignorant.
Does it sound racist for somebody to say that?
I think it is a little racist because, you're putting people in a category and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe a little bit of racist in it, but like I said, I think it's more stupidity and ignorance.
You're judging somebody, but you're judging them because they black, saying that they don't got it.
What people are they talking to? Who are these people talking to?
Do you have a problem that if you go to vote and they say, "Can we please see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are"? Are you
Love showing my ID.
You got no problem with that?
Nope.
Would you have a problem if when you go to vote, if they say, "Can we please just see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are"? Do you have an issue with that?
No.
Would you have a problem if there was a rule where you have to show your ID in order to vote?
I don't think so. No.
Would you have an issue if there was a rule saying you got to show your ID before you vote?
Nah.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Well, you saw in that video fully that Amy Horowitz asked white liberals and they were saying, oh, the voter ID laws are racial, are racist. Whereas the white people themselves, the black people themselves, are not even bothered about that. Candace Owens and this guy was on the PBD show some times back. What's his name now? Cuomo. Chris Cuomo. They were on the PBD show. And Chris Cuomo was asked a direct question. Voter ID laws, voter IDs. Is it something that we should allow in the United States of America? The guy obviously said no. He's a liberal, a white liberal. I guess he's of Italian origin. And Candice was saying, come to think of it, you need this thing. You need, and the average person, the average American, either black, white, green, or whatever their color is, will need the ID. And they know exactly how to get the IDs. And they are not foolish enough in getting the IDs. Why should anybody now act like, oh, they cannot get these ID cards themselves? So that, so therefore, if they want to come and vote, they will not be able to get the ID cards. So whenever I see people like Chris Cuomo and a lot of them like that, I don't want to talk about those blacks who are race baiters, who always want to use race as a thing in how in telling the world that no, that is why the blacks are not moving forward or anything. Those ones are. I don't really fancy those race baiters. But we are talking about the white liberals here for now. But so the main thing is that until the black community realize that the white liberals are never their friends, it is the white liberals that will make excuses for them when they misbehave towards the police, when it is the white liberals who will join them in saying F the police or whatever, who will join them in saying things like defund the police. And when you defund the police in your community, maybe a lot of these white liberals, the community where they are living in, they have enough security in the place, they have enough policemen in the place protecting their lives and their families, but they will tell you that you should defund the police in your own enclave. You will tell the black people to defund the police in your own enclave. Until crime and whatever and violence now became a big thing that you may not be able to control. So whenever you see this white liberal join you and you have them among the groups like Antifa or whatever, you have them there all over. Whenever you see a white liberal, for me, there's a saying in Yoruba, there's a saying that we have in my language. I used to share some proverbs whenever we talk sometimes. There's a saying we have in Yoruba language sometimes. When you see a rope and a snake, you should know the difference. You should know the difference. But I can tell you, if the white liberal is the rope, I'd rather pick a snake. Anyway, I'm just joking about that, just trying to make an analogy. So, but the ways, I am just trying to say the ways that the white liberal acts towards the blacks and wanting to kind of patronize the blacks sometimes, to make them feel, we are the ones who love you. They operate like they are snakes. Green snakes under the green grass. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I said the white liberals. And especially the white liberals who get involved in politics and what have you in the media. They are never our friends. I see some white liberals, so they come down to Africa, they will come for different kind of issues, multinationals, intergovernmental organizations, and you see these ideologues among them, and when they start to talk, whenever we see them on the podium, and when they start to talk sometimes, I personally can pick how they sound. And now they will tell you, oh, Africa is under the bondage of the West. Africa is under the control of the Western world. Africa cannot come out of poverty. Africa is bedeviled by the climate change, whatever, or by all this ecological whatever. And they'll be talking in a manner like for Africans to just believe that, hey, we can't save ourselves again. It is only through these people that we can save ourselves. They always want to make you to talk to them that they are the ones who probably could help you out. So I'm not talking of white people in general. No, that's not what I'm saying. But the white liberals. those leftists, and these are the people. This is why we need to be careful with the white liberals. This is part of why we need to be careful. They will patronize you to the extent that they will not be the ones to be able to control your minds and control everything you're able to do. Now, for example, as Africans, we come from a culture whereby maybe the things like, same-sex marriages or whatever, or what have you, are not acceptable. Maybe there are some odd liberal vices that are acceptable in the Western world that are not acceptable with us here. And we will say culturally, these things we don't do. This is what the white liberals will do. They will come to you trying to say they want to help you. They will push certain monies towards you or certain things towards you that you will think, okay, it's like giving you sweets. I'm making you do the monkey see, monkey do thing. They will give you sweets and they will say, lick the sweets. And it's like they will want to tell Africans that they do this a lot to Black America. They do this a lot to Black America. And they will say, take the sweets, till they are able to get inside of you, break down your culture, especially if your culture is a bit conservative and you're really paying attention to the conservative nature of your culture, and you're saying, okay, you are building your society based on that. What they will do is that every aspect of your culture that is conservative and that is right, that is helping to make your community stronger, they will break it down for you. They will take that part away. But every twisted aspect of your culture that is like the white liberals will always push the rap music the hip hop culture. They will tell you the hip hop culture is a black culture. And the hip hop culture is filled with violence, with the things with derogatory towards women and debauchery and what have you. The hip hop culture is filled with that. But the white liberal will always tell you, oh, we always want to hype that culture up for you. They will always want to say that is the aspect that you should focus on and you should build. They will bring you stars or music stars that will talk up that twisted hip-hop culture. That is what the white liberals do. The white liberals, that's what they do. They will talk it up to the extent that you will not be able to understand that these people just want your people and the youth in your community to continue behaving that way, to continue making excuses for themselves, so that they will not be able to fight for themselves eventually. They will always need the white liberal to fight for them. But ask them about you having your families intact. It is the white liberals that threw the black community the bone in the 60s. Through Lyndon Johnson and the former president that came after JFK. They are the one who threw the black community that bone. And they destroyed the black community. The black community used to be a man, a wife, the father, the mother, and the children. And they were building communities. And the statistics clearly shows that they were staying with themselves 80% in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s. 80%, even till the 60s, till the 50s, 80% married, raising their children, working. But they threw the black community to the bone, and by the time you come down from the 60s to where we are today, 80% unmarried, 80% born out of wedlock. The fathers are not in the home anymore. The white liberals will always tell you that is your culture, that is what you should do. They break down your family. It is an agenda that they have. And until as black people you realize that these white liberals are never your friends, whether they are in academia, whether they are in the media, or whether they are in business or whatever, the quicker you realize that they are not your friends, the better. The quicker you realize that they are not your friends, the better. As Africans, as a Nigerian, I know the type of the white liberal I'm supposed to listen to. I won't even listen to them anyway, because I know them. I know the type of agenda they will bring. I know that they want to break down our culture. And the culture that is upholding our communities, they will always want to break it down. They will push same-sex marriages into your communities. Go and check out the black community in the US now and see the number of people who are supposedly coming out as homosexuals or whatever. Go and check the numbers right from the 70s, right from 1975 down today, and see the quick jump in the number of these people. And some of these twisted things are brought in by white liberals. So whenever they throw you the sweets, they will take your culture away. They will take the right culture that is building your community away. They will destroy the connections and the connectivity you have. That's what the white liberals usually do. So they are not worthy to listen to. They are not worthy to follow. They are not worthy to stay around, or to, when I say stay around, you shouldn't allow them to dictate or to tell you about the political decisions you are going to make. Now, somebody may ask me, may say, oh, I am only making excuses for that. I'm only holding a brief for black Republicans and what have you. I mean, for Republicans or the conservative movement. Okay, well, I was a former Muslim. My name is Sahid. I came from a Muslim family. But I got born again later, and I'm now a Christian, for example. Irrespective from the culture, the Yoruba culture that I was raised with and I come from, the Yorubas are from the southwestern part of Nigeria. They had one of the three biggest, largest ethnic group in our place. From that culture that I come from, or where I went into, and even when I was born, into Islam and what have you, it was a conservative culture. The Yorubas had a conservative culture. Even in Islam, they had a conservative culture. And as a Christian, when I became a Christian, so I was raised in that conservatism to an extent. So I grew up and I had a worldview, a common sense based worldview. This is why I'm able to talk about different things and different things. I mean, about different. That I'm able to talk about different communities the way I'm able to talk about them, because I study these things. So the main thing is that even if you say I'm holding brief for the conservative movement, yeah, I'm a conservative. Yeah, you can take me that way. Have common sense based worldview. So I may not necessarily be holding brief for them, but this is common sense. This is the truth. The white liberals are never the friends of the black people. The white liberals are never the friends of the Latinos. The white liberals are never the friends of the Asian communities in places like in the US, and they are not the friends of the Arabs. They are not the friends of anybody. They have their own agenda which they are following, and they are after destroying the good, right norms and practices that are holding communities together. That the type of norms that is holding the community of the Asians together, the type of norms that is holding the community of the blacks together. The culture where a lot of us come from, the culture of hard work and doing the right things and holding and building your family, go and check it. These white liberals who are literally communists and socialists, they destroy that. They always want to pay somebody who is not working, who's not really doing, giving the right things back to the community. They always want to destroy such people. Anybody that says, oh, you need to work, no, they will come up with this universal basic income thing. That's what the white liberals will come up with. They want to destroy the capitalism, a capitalism that usually he may have its issues, but it creates more wealth and lifts more people out of poverty. The white liberals want to destroy that. They always want to say you don't have to work much and you can get universal basic income. You can, the way they treat the illegal migrants that come to places like the US or that come to places like the UK and Waterview. They want to bring the illegal migrants in. The white liberals will tell you, oh, let them come in, open the borders up, and they will start giving them the monies of the tax-paying people of all these communities in the Western world, basically. That's what the white liberals does. And the white liberals will always hold up the race baiters. People like Al Sharpton and a few other, and some of these other guys who just merely always want to tell the black communities that look, racism is the thing that is keeping you down. Instead of telling everybody, the youths and whoever, that you need to wake up and start building things for yourself and start working so that you can get, and also make sure you keep your family together. Make sure you get married to a husband, live with him, and give birth to your children and keep the family together. But these white liberals, these black liberals who are working with these white liberals will not tell you that. They always want to also break down your families as well. I don't want to get into a situation whereby it will seem like I'm ranting. But I hope you can understand some of the things that I've been talking about even today. So once again, black people, Latinos, Asian people, Arabs, whoever, the white liberals are not your friends. They are not our friends. Africans, the white liberals are not our friends. So this is Sahid in Nigeria, and that's my perspective.